Welcome to Show Off Saturdays. This one's going to be pretty short, probably. It's very thrown together. It's not what I had planned, but you know what? When it comes to these Saturdays, I stay so busy. I'm like, damn it, it's Saturday again. I got to get control of these weeks, is what I got to do. This one's thrown together. Literally, I threw some comics on a table, and these are comics I'm taking out, getting ready, inspecting, and honestly reading many of these before I sell them at my store tomorrow at the flea market. Starting from left to right, we're going to go with what value I'm going to assess to these books. And then a special surprise after I show you all these books I'm taking tomorrow. Well, not super special. A surprise. Wait a second. I can't say a surprise because now it's not a surprise. Okay, just something at the end. I think it's kind of funny. Starting to the left, we got some books that are $2. My books start at $2 because they do bulk discounting. And it's hard to discount $1 items. We got Laurel and Hardy in 3D. I don't know if you need 3D glasses for that. Then we have Captain Kidd. I don't know anything about that book. I figure it might get some interest because it looks like it might be an important superhero, but I don't know who the hell Captain Kidd is. Berserkers. This looks like a knockoff book from Rob Liefeld or something like that. I mean, not bad artwork. Kind of an interesting cover there. Might sell that for $2. And then up here we get into some books that you think would not be $2. You say, Rick, why are you selling X-Men books for $2 each? You know, these are some of the most sought after books there are, is X-Men books. And these are 90s books also, right? You can tell by the sticker, not the sticker, you can tell by the cover price, $125 and $150. Well, you see right there why I'm selling these for $2. It's all about the condition of your books. And these are not in good condition. This one's even worse. See that crease there? And you see some funky stuff happening right there. This one's been through some rough times. But they're going to sell, man. I sold out of all of my X-Men books today, and I had a good bit of them. I sold all my Spider-Man books. I had a couple of those. And I sold, I think, all my Batmans. So I'm telling you, people are loving the comics at my store. But they're only responding to certain comics with well-known characters. Now this is a book, I don't know who Star is, but I think I've seen that art before from another. Looks like some Savage Dragon artwork, doesn't it? Something like that. And I decided to bring this out because I think for $2, that's a cool looking cover. Sometimes just a cool looking cover will sell you a book for $2. This is Image United with Badrock, who was kind of like a combination, I believe, of the Thing and the Hulk. Because you could tell it, I mean, look at there. It looks kind of like the Thing. You could just call him Granite or something like that. And the Hawkeye knockoff type character. And is that maybe a Wolverine knockoff? I'm not sure. This is a cool looking book with that artist. I love that artist. I forget his name, but does it have on the cover? Yeah, I love that artist. That is a great freaking artist. And it looks like a knockoff of Captain America, but it's not. And he's got that big old tongue he's wrapping around this buxom bat looking type chick. Looks like she could put your eyes out with those Sharpies right there. So that's a cool looking cover. And he's got a spike bat also. Yeah, just really cool freaking cover there. That might sell for $2. This one probably definitely will sell for $2 because it's not an actual Predator comic, but it's got a Predator on cover there. That's a wicked looking cover too. Love that cover. And talking about some Liefeld here. Liefeld himself. Where are the feet at? Is there any feet here? Usually don't see the feet on the Liefeld covers. Because the fucker just can't draw feet. But you see the very extreme and the shoulder pads. And you can tell that's definitely an early 90s type book. Yeah, people make so much fun of Rob Liefeld, but he was very successful. And he created Deadpool. So, yeah, this is number one. Nobody much cares about Brigade, but it might be a $2 book there. You know the weird thing? That's the same person. Yeah, that's the same person. See that? Different people, but the same chick to the left and right. Kind of weird. Now here we get into $3 territory, which is an X-Force book. Not exactly an X-Men book. It's kind of like there were the X-Men books, and then the X-Force, and then the Excalibur, and the X-Factor, which was the secondary books. This is in much better condition. And you see Strife battling Apocalypse, which, I mean, I bet that was a pretty good fight. This is one of those I'm probably going to legit read in my store tomorrow before I sell it. This one and the other X-Men books. Yeah. Now, lastly, we got a book, 2 books, that are called Axis. This was 2014. I don't know the story, but these are 2 definitely I want to sell before. Read before I sell them, because I'm just curious about what the Red Skull is doing as Onslaught in Onslaught armor. I want to know that story, man. Like, I want to know that story. And you see there, the cover price of that is $4.99, but shit. I think both of these I'm going to do for $4. I was thinking $5 on that, but the cover damage, can't do that. But you got Iron Man, you got Colossus, Storm, looks like Thor, Scarlet Witch. Damn, you got everybody showing up for this. This must have been a huge event. And down here, you got not Captain America, and then the freaking Hulk over there, Spider-Man, about to say Daredevil, but no, that's apparently damn Cyclops. Okay. Then you got Carnage. Cool. Is that Magneto, but just with a really cool looking helmet? Yeah, so that's the books I'm taking tomorrow to sell, and here's a special surprise. Oops, I accidentally dropped it in the trash can. But this doesn't belong in a trash can. It's a mint copy of The Ferret, number 1. He's from the pages of The Protectors. He's the Ferret. This is a 1992 book. And man, the origin, don't even get me started. First of all, the Ferret has had different origins, but this one was a glam star rocker, I do believe. And the idea, if I read correctly, is Malibu wanted their version of Wolverine. You could tell by how he looks, you know, kind of Wolverine-ish, okay? Not a terrible design. Like, if you call this superhero anything but the Ferret, you know, people could maybe get behind this character. But it's the Ferret. And I love how they tried. I've looked at covers. I did a fucking Ferret search on Google because I was so curious about this. I looked at some of the covers, and this person apparently was like very kind of hardcore and extreme. But hey, what character wasn't extreme in the 90s? And it was really trying to make him seem like Wolverine. So I was thinking this person probably has some wicked powers. Maybe he's like some healing. Maybe like a bonded skeleton with adamantium, or they would call it something different. No, apparently, this fucker has the powers of the Ferret. I don't know much about ferrets, but I don't think they're all that powerful. Apparently, this person had great agility. He could jump high. And he was proportionally as fast as a ferret. So if a human being is like 20 times bigger than a ferret, so he's 20 times faster than most people? All right, that's something. And he has he has feral senses, so good senses of smell. But it's the ferret, and you can see why probably this didn't work. Because I just, what the fuck? You're gonna the Wolverine, okay, and then you got what are some other type characters? Ripclaw, which was actually a Wolverine type knockoff. Hawks and like freaking gorillas and stuff of that nature that you could base heroes or villains on. Strong characters. The ferret. What's next? The gerbil. The hamster. I'm sorry, man. That's just fucking hilarious. All right. Take care, everybody.